Fantastic. All right. Hello there, everyone, and welcome. My name is Samantha Hunter. I am the Education Outreach Manager at the Rhode Island Historical Society. And I'm so excited that you're here joining us for our virtual 2020 Rhode Island History Teacher of the Year ceremony honoring Miss Claudia Traub. We are very excited for you. Yes, a round of applause there. Fantastic. I do want to just give you a little bit of information about the Gilder-Lehrman process before we dive into all of the remarks that some really wonderful folks have recorded for this evening. So I will do that to get us started. So the Gilder-Lehrman Institute of American History conducts the National History Teacher of the Year Award as part of its dedication to K-12 education. Each year, the award honors an exceptional K-12 history teacher in each of the 50 states, the District of Columbia, Department of Defense schools, and U.S. territories. The National History Teacher of the Year is chosen from among the state winners. Since 2004, this award, co-sponsored by the Gilder-Lehrman Institute of American History and Preserve America, has celebrated nearly 700 outstanding American history teachers at the state and national levels. This year, the Rhode Island Historical Society is pleased to lead the process for selecting Rhode Island's winner. A panel of 3 judges selected one winner based on a rubric provided by Gilder-Lehrman. The winner must have had at least 3 years of classroom teaching experience, a demonstrated commitment to teaching American history, evidence of creativity and innovation in the classroom, and show effective use of primary resources to engage students with American history. Tonight, we're here to celebrate our 2020 Rhode Island History Teacher of the Year, Claudia Traub. Claudia previously served as an educator at Sophia Academy and is now the Director of Curriculum and Instruction at Diversity Talks. Claudia has been involved in university and middle school education, theater arts, and designing theater curriculum and spaces for student voice for over 30 years. She's a staunch proponent of working to decolonize the classroom with deep critical analysis of equitable narrative, power dynamic exchange, redistribution of materials, resources, community and family voice, and most importantly, a compassionate space designed to uplift, engage, and celebrate the fierce voices that are fighting to be heard, seen, and celebrated. Her curriculum focuses on resistance and students as agents of change. Those who know Claudia well as some of our Rhode Island representatives, have prepared some wonderful things to say about Claudia, so I'm going to turn it over to them before officially presenting the award certificate to Claudia. So to get us started, we actually have some folks who shared some recorded remarks as well as some live remarks. So first up, I'm going to share some recorded remarks from Gigi DeBello, who's the former head of school at Sophia Academy, as well as a mentor, teacher, and friend of Claudia's. So let me share my screen to share that. All right, 1 second here. Here we go. Sorry, folks, technical difficulties. Here we go. Okay.
Hey, Sam, the sound's not coming through.
It's not? Okay, 1 second, sorry.
I think there might be a Zoom setting where you have to like share sound too.
Yeah, I did that. I think it's giving me the system issues because I had to get a new computer.
Oh.
So sorry, everyone. 1 second here. Actually, so while we're waiting, Josephine, I know you're here on the call with us and you were going to share some live remarks. Would you like to share what you have prepared with us while I get my recording settled on my end?
I can. Okay. I would like to start off by saying, on behalf of myself and Sophia Academy's class of 2019, congratulations. No one deserves this award more than you do. Ms. Traub isn't the type of teacher that'll just say, she will explain. She won't just help you, she will encourage and believe in you. Ever since the beginning, when I first enrolled to the 5th grade, Miss Traub has been my support system and my MVP. She has helped me find my voice and my purpose when I couldn't do it on my own. And she has been the nicest, most reliable, and inspirational person yet. Thank you for everything, Miss Traub. Congratulations.
Hello, my name is Gigi DeBello, and I'm delighted to share brief remarks today about my colleague and friend Claudia Traub, the 2020 Rhode Island History Teacher of the Year. I want to start by recognizing and thanking the Rhode Island Historical Society and the Gilder Lehrman Institute of American History for bestowing upon Claudia this wonderful acknowledgement of her talents and hard work. As the former head of school at Sophia Academy, I can tell you that a laudable mission and empowering vision is nothing without dedicated, innovative, and skilled practitioners to bring it to life. Claudia Traub is that and more. As a natural storyteller, a trained and experienced actor, an energetic and vivacious advisor, and a social justice advocate in and outside of the classroom, Claudia has a unique balance of skills and experience that make her a gifted educator and treasured team member. As someone who was courageous enough to pursue a non-linear career path, Claudia understands that creativity, innovation, humility, hard work, and human connection are cornerstones for a successful teaching career. She also understands and prioritizes for learners productive time inside and outside the classroom. I offer tonight 3 snapshots from Claudia's tenure at Sophia, examples of an award-winning teacher at her best. Picture, if you will, 15 fifth grade girls huddled in groups around a vibrant, often noisy classroom, finalizing end-of-project presentations based on their research about the Taino people, building upon and deepening their understanding of a story they thought they already knew about when Columbus discovered America. They are eager to share with each other and with me, later, a more complicated version of the facts. Claudia plays an important role in this classroom. As a guide and facilitator, she asks questions and directs students back to each other and into their text and points them to other available resources they have, artifacts, information about local Native people, and Rhode Island historical sites. All help them become critical thinkers and independent learners. I was not surprised when a subset of the class requested a meeting with me to request that we change the name of Columbus Day on our school calendar to Indigenous People Day. Fast forward to 8th grade. After returning from our civil rights trip to Atlanta and the surrounding area, the itinerary enhanced from the year before by Claudia to include visits with women activists from the movement. The 8th grade students plan and choreograph a presentation at an all-school meeting. I hold my breath as I listen to each 8th grade student share moving passages from their journals, poems, and pictures, which underscore the poignancy of the journey for them. It's clear Claudia has provided a learning experience with long-term impact on her students' understanding of the movement. Claudia looks from the students to me across the room, tears in both our eyes, recalling, I imagine, our walk across the Edmund Pettus Bridge in Selma with the girls and some of their parents. History felt accessible and relevant to them there, having made connections not just to present-day events, but to their own family stories of immigration, forced or otherwise, struggle and resilience and pride. The final image is not in Claudia's classroom either. We are gathered at the Wilbury Theater, then housed down the street from Sophia at the Southside Cultural Center. It's a hot night in June, and the performance marks the close of Claudia's first year with us. Claudia added a staged reading to the 7th grade curriculum then. The play, 7, is about women who are agents of change all over the world. The students had never done anything like this before, and according to Claudia, as reported to me during our weekly meetings, rehearsals were inconsistent. The students expressed fear, seemed intimidated by the language, were often moody, as 7th graders can be, and Claudia herself felt worried. But she also saw something else, an innovative approach to the characters, students shining who in other settings were painfully shy and reluctant to talk in class, and real cohesion among the students. Claudia banked on the excitement of the night and the value of an audience to perform to. And it is, I have to say, one of my favorite memories of my time at Sophia. The power of their voices, the physical way they owned the stage, the way their stories connected, and the pride they showed at the end were all palpable. Claudia helped these students to deepen their understanding of themselves while making connections with the text and history and sharing tools for managing the anxiety and excitement that comes with performance-based assessment. As you well know, Ms. Traub is an extraordinary teacher, but it's her relationships inside and outside the classroom that make her a valued and trusted colleague and community member. Claudia knows that teaching and learning are intricately connected and that her own learning leads to better teaching. She doesn't hesitate to ask for help with curriculum and lesson development, and she relies on the families and guest teachers from all over the country to enrich her classroom. Congratulations, Claudia, on this honor, and good luck with your next venture. We are all better from knowing and working alongside of you.
Thank you, Gigi. I know you're not here, but thank you.
All right. So those are some fantastic remarks from Gigi, and we're going to keep it rolling. So next, I have another recorded video from one of Claudia's former students, Maya Finn. So, why did I lose my screen? Okay.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Maya Pin, and I am one of Claudia Traub's former students and now lifetime friend. I first met Claudia when I was in the 7th grade. She was our school's new social studies teacher. It would now be my class's new advisor. Claudia had taught my classmates and I all about the truth behind Christopher Columbus and his part in the enslavement and mass genocide of Native Americans. Taught me about the horrors of the Khmer Rouge, World War I and World War II, Black history and civil rights, and most importantly, how to be an advocate. She encouraged us to use our voices and take on projects that we felt passionate about. She was there every step of the way, when we needed help, when we contacted organizations to partner with, and when we simply wanted to hear her input. She is the reason I have the courage today to speak up for what I believe in and to fight for change. Claudia not only taught me how to advocate for others, but also for myself. She urged me to be strong, helped me learn to love myself when I was not happy about who I was or how I looked. And when I wore a hat to cover their hair I was so ashamed of losing, she let me know I was beautiful and intelligent. She has given me a safe space to be vulnerable, shed tears with me, listened to me when no one else would, and even made me dinner. She made me feel like I mattered, and still to this day makes me feel important and is always right beside me. Claudia Traub, thank you for everything you have taught me. Thank you for helping me see the beauty in myself. Thank you for being my friends, my advisor, my teacher. You have done nothing but encourage the light inside of me to grow brighter. I'm so honored to have met you back in 7th grade. I love you and congratulations. Maya.
Thank you, Maya.
All right. So next we have Lynn Bowman, who's the assistant head of school at the Gordon School and a teacher, mentor, and colleague and friend of Claudia's.
Thank you. And I am honored and privileged to be around these young people, especially Claudia's former students, who are giving her so much love and appreciation. I'm not surprised, but their just beautiful words are, I hate to come after that, actually. But here it goes. I'm honored to be here with you all to celebrate an incredible educator, colleague, and friend, Claudia Traub. I first met Claudia in 2014 when she first set foot on Gordon's campus as part of a cohort of graduate student teachers. Our graduate program in teaching had a focus on multicultural education and teaching for social justice. Claudia came to the residency program with a strong background in education. As a college professor, she'd worked with adult learners as well as children in theater and out in the community. Claudia was poised to hone her classroom teaching skills and become more familiar with the theoretical underpinnings of teaching and learning that were already evident in her practice. She did that and more, taking in readings and articles on race, privilege, and inclusion, applying the lens of a social justice educator to how she organized her classroom and designed her curriculum, as well as engage with other adults around issues of equity and inclusion. Claudia consistently checked her own assumptions, demonstrating humility and grace as she learned and unlearned alongside her students. Teaching history for Claudia is not just about textbooks and dates. It is and has always been an entry point for self-discovery, empowerment, and agency. Over the years, I have had the privilege of meeting many of Claudia's students. She created an experience for them all that was built on respect, relevance, and rigor. She modeled for her students how to show up in the world with curiosity and empathy. She learned much from her students as well: compassion, trust, and authenticity. This synergistic relationship between student and teacher was evident every time I stepped into Claudia's classroom. Teaching and learning for Claudia extends far beyond the walls of a classroom, with an understanding that all of our histories impact and inform how we engage with each other today. Claudia continues to learn and remain open to the world around her. She encourages a sense of curiosity in others, both children and adults, in an effort to foster understanding and connection to make the world a better place. Congratulations, Claudia.
Thank you, Lynn.
Thank you so much, Lynn. Okay, we have a few more. So many folks wanted to share all their kind thoughts about Claudia. So we have another recorded video from another one of Claudia's former students, Ashley Ogaffa. So.
Hi everyone, my name is Ashley Ogaffa and I'm a junior at Lincoln School. I went to middle school at Sophia Academy where I met Ms. Traub. Ms. Traub started teaching at Sophia when I was in 5th grade and I was taught by her for social studies. She was one of the first teachers I had met who would actually listen to what the students wanted to learn and who tried to make class very interactive so we would still be engaged. Ms. Traub was the first person I'd met who actually kind of introduced me to acting because I knew that acting was something I was interested in, but I never got a chance to do it. I never had been in a play or done a skit or anything like that. But in her class, we had done a lot of skits for different topics of history, and I realized that that was something I was interested in. I had a lot of fun doing it, and I really appreciate her for introducing that to me, even if it was indirectly. I also appreciate her kind of showing me about advocacy and how to let your voice be heard. She was always vocal about wanting the youth to be heard, and that's what she was about. So everyone in her class should know that, you know, Ms. Traub didn't play about getting your voice heard, and she really wanted to hear different opinions and to let you find your voice and then share it. So I appreciate that as well. Ms. Traub would always go over and above to help students, whether she stay after school and she offered to drop you home, or whether she offered to bring you places that you just really wanted to go. That's the type of person she is. She really cared for her craft, and that was very obvious in how she taught. I want to appreciate Ms. Traub, and I want to thank her for showing me, for kind of guiding me to my love of adequacy, history, and acting, all those three things. You know, she knew me in middle school, which is my more formative years, and I think she had a really big role in kind of me becoming the person I am today. And I'm really glad that she's being awarded this award because she deserves it so much. Love you, Ms. Traub. Thanks.
Thank you, Ashley.
Okay. So now we'll have Melissa Moniz, who's the head of school at the head of the middle school at Sophia Academy and a colleague of Claudia's.
Hi, everyone. Hi, Claudia. As Sam just mentioned, my name is Melissa Moniz, and I'm actually the director of middle school at Sophia. And that's where Claudia and I met. And we were colleagues there for about 6 years, but I consider Claudia one of my lifelong friends. And just as our students have mentioned so much that they learned from Claudia, I continue to learn from Claudia. And I feel like everyone has mentioned everything I wanted to say. So I'll give my version of all of that. Everyone has said such wonderful things, and yeah, it's been really moving to hear. So if you can just imagine that Claudia and I were neighbors, our classrooms were adjoined by this door. And often I would hear really loud booming music and videos and simulations that would be distracting to my very quiet math classroom. So if you could just imagine that. And I dared to open the door to ask Miss Traub if she could please, quiet it down a little bit because my students needed to focus. And I say I dared because when I opened that door that connected our classrooms, I would bear witness to an engaged room of students and an educator that was also equally as engaged as the students. And if you can just imagine the students at the edge of their seats or moving and creating or recreating, and the educator guiding them, a passionate, charismatic educator. Really quickly, I learned that I didn't want to open that door to ask Ms. Traub to lower the volume. Because behind that door, there was real time, real life learning happening. In that classroom, I knew that the receivers of the information were not just the students. I knew that the giver of information was not just a teacher. The classroom was a shared learning space. When I was a student in middle and high school, I did what I needed to get the grade. Especially in history classes, I memorized as best as I could. And I would memorize these dates and facts without trying to understand and without making connections between different historical events. And I certainly made no attempts to connect that history to my own history. So when I saw that our students had the opportunity to create family trees, the opportunity to share their cultural backgrounds and heritage through dance and music, their clothing or food, and using primary resources to retell a story through writing, song, art, and theater. These are all experiences that I witnessed that our Sophia students had become not just, learners of history, but a part of history. And any student that gets to explore their history and other people's history with Ms. Traub is a lucky student. I know for sure that if I had had a teacher like Ms. Traub, I would have been more aware and appreciative of my own history, which reminds me of Hamilton's who dies, who lives, who dies, who tells your story. And because of Claudia, I listen to that all the time. It's on my Spotify, I love it. I rock out to it. Claudia, you are an educator who works hard to challenge your students, to think critically and encourage them to be inquisitive. And you nurture and support their strengths and their talents and their interests. I am so excited for you, my friend, that you are receiving this. You're so deserving of this award. Congratulations on receiving the 2020 Rhode Island History Teacher of the Year Award.
Thank you, Melissa.
Thank you so much, Melissa. All right. So now we're going to have Marco McWilliams from the Engaged Black History and Justice Scholars Program at the Swearer Center at Brown University, who is a teacher, mentor, colleague, and friend of Claudia's.
Good afternoon. Greetings, everyone. Honor and pleasure to be here. Apologize, I had some technology issues, but I think we worked it out. So I first really probably met our educator of the year, and it was not in a school in the way that we are conventionally thinking of school. It was out in the community over on the south side of Providence in a little convening room where I was teaching some African-American history classes for the community. And this little woman showed up and was accompanied by some other small folks that were middle schoolers. And I was like, oh, okay, this is great. And she comes in and she finds a seat, and she was very much in like a caretaker, caregiver mode. You know, we might think of like a mother hen kind of, you know, traditionally, and she was getting them situated. And then I'm like, all right, okay, these aren't just neighbors, right? Like she has some kind of relationship with these folks. And we're doing the introduction, going through the introductions, and I found out that she herself was an educator, and she was bringing her students out to engage in this learning in the community. And they came faithfully. And even at times when she couldn't make it there, they would still show up. You know, a parent or someone would drop them off for the classes. And that was the beginning of what has, to this day, not only become a professional relationship, but a friendship, because that turned into me going and visiting Claudia's classes and speaking with her students and listening to their ideas and helping them to learn and grow, and them helping me to learn and grow. And it's been going on ever since. When I have ideas that I need somebody to help me process, I get on my phone and I reach out to her. When she has a book that's working through some ideas that she's trying to figure out how to think through and challenge, like, she'll hit me up. And we've really become comrades in the struggle. And so when I didn't even initially know that I was gonna speak for this, she had like reached out and she's like, you know, I'm getting this award and we're holding the ceremony this way. And I was like, let me know what time, what place. All of us know educators and or are educators, and like, that's why we're here. That's what this is about. But if I could say one of what would be one of the most impactful things about me watching Claudia as an educator, she inspires me to like want to start a school. Like if I started a school, like she's somebody that I want to like sit down at the table and break bread with, right? Like I want to have like folks, like educators like that in the space. That's how that's the standard that I use to measure, right? Like, could you run a school with this person? And so this is a honor and a pleasure to be able to honor her tonight in this moment. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Marco.
Thank you, Marco.
All right. So in addition to Claudia's friends and colleagues, we also have some Rhode Island representatives here who wanted to share their congratulations with you. So first, we have Lisa Four, who's the Chief of Teaching and Learning at the Rhode Island Department of Education.
Wow. That's my first. I feel like I've gotten to know you a little bit. We've never met, but wow. And I feel honored to be in your presence this evening and to learn about you and your work. So let me start there. I wish I could add you to my team at RIDE, first of all. I was like, wait a minute. And then I thought, oh, I wish I could be in our classroom. I'd like to go back and be a student in your classroom. And I think I would have a lot to learn by doing that. And so I'm just so impressed. So anyway, thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for having me join this evening. I actually feel even more fortunate than I thought I did that the commissioner was already booked and couldn't join. This is the highlight of my day. An absolute pleasure to be with you all. So I love it when the commissioner gets booked for these kinds of events and I get to go instead. And I hope you don't mind. So the work that you have done is clearly impressive. I was reading, a description of the award for tonight, and I was reading a little bit about your background and just the work that you've done as a middle school teacher, the work that you've done in theater and the arts. And then I read about programming you had done at John Hope Settlement House and then university theater, like just this wide span of experiences and influence and work. And we're just so lucky to have you as among the ranks of our educators in Rhode Island, and so glad that you're being honored and recognized for that work that you do. As I reviewed your background and information about the award, I couldn't help but wonder, I started to think about how will history classes in the future start to teach about what 2020 was like? What will that future history class look like that's teaching about a pandemic? And when the last time, I think it's 1918 was the last time prior to that we really saw a pandemic like this. What will that history class be like that in that same year we were having a presidential election in the middle of this pandemic? And then the racial injustice that we see happening across the country in that same year. And I couldn't help but wonder, there's so many, and I can only imagine what you would do with your students and with adults in other kinds of programming around all of these sorts of events. There's such rich opportunity in all of this for teaching not only kids, but with all of us as adults about this time and what's happening, to help us all learn from it, understand it, make meaning of it, apply it to our own lives, as we've heard, is something that you already do every single day in the work that you do. So it was both interesting for me and exciting to actually reflect on what would be happening today and what will happen in the future as we teach about these moments. So again, thank you so much for everything that you're doing in Rhode Island, for every student you're supporting, for all the colleagues and teachers you support and others. It's just amazing and outstanding. And I actually have, it's a signed certificate from the commissioner. So on her behalf, we made sure that she got to sign it. It is, in the mail after tonight, on its way to you officially to recognize your accomplishment and, to really make sure that the Department of Education is recognizing the work that you've done. I really look forward to hearing more about you and hearing more about your work. I know after tonight and meeting you that there is so much more to come, and I can't wait to see what's next.
Thank you. I know I'm not allowed to talk till the end. Can I just say one thing? Is that okay? I want to thank you. And I just want to make it clear that every educator who I've been honored, blessed to have speak, you've got the best educators on here. Every one of these people has been my mentor, my teacher, my colleague, and you've got the best minds right on here. So I want to just pay it back to them because it's really important. And the same with the young people that you heard from they didn't talk about the work they're doing now, but they're also all involved with great work. So I'll shut up now and go ahead.
No, that's fantastic. Thanks, Claudia. It's your ceremony. You can say whatever you like. All right. Thank you so much, Lisa. Next, we're going to have Lynn Sparkman on behalf of the Secretary of State.
Hi, everyone. Hi, Claudia. It's so nice to see you after not seeing you for a little while. So I'm Lynn Sparkman, and I work for Secretary Gorbea, who is so sorry that she can't be here herself. She's a huge, huge fan. As many of you know, Secretary Gorbea has made a really strong commitment to working with teachers to connect them and their students with Rhode Island's rich and diverse history and to help them understand how government works so that they can take an active role in our democracy. And Claudia has been an incredible partner in this work, bringing students to the State House, bringing them to the state archives, and generally impressing upon them, as you've heard from them, their own potential as civic actors. So Secretary Gorbea sends her, huge congratulations, as do I, for this wonderful and incredibly well-deserved award. And we also have a citation, but it's en route to you. So you can look for that in the mail. Congratulations, Claudia.
Thanks, Lane.
Thank you. And also, Nellie Gorbea is a very good friend of Sophia Academy's. I just want to make that clear too. She's
fantastic. Okay. And then Senator Reed couldn't join us live this evening, but shared some recorded remarks. So I'll play those now.
Hi, I'm Jack Reed, and I'm pleased to join the Rhode Island Historical Society and the Gilder Lehrman Institute of American History in congratulating Claudia Traub on her selection as the 2020 Rhode Island History Teacher of the Year. Ms. Traub has dedicated her career to elevating the voices of students. History is their story, too. Our nation continues to wrestle with the issues of race and equal justice. Young people are yearning for a fuller, more complete, and more inclusive understanding of the forces that shape our culture and our society, and our power to change them. Ms. Traub is an educator who understands the power of student voices, and I thank her for her service to our young people and to our community. The award is well deserved. Congratulations.
Thank you.
All right, and now we'll have Geralyn Decati, who's the Director of Education at the Rhode Island Historical Society.
Thanks, Sam. I also want to echo what Lisa said and just say, wow. I've never met you since before this, and I am thoroughly impressed. And I would love to turn back time and have you as my teacher. I had a similar experience, I think, to Melissa, where it was just memorizing facts and not really feeling connected to it. But I would have loved to have learned what you're teaching now then, instead of learning those things much later in life. But I did want to thank everyone for coming out tonight and taking the time to honor Ms. Traub. And at the Rhode Island Historical Society, we take the responsibility of selecting a Rhode Island History Teacher of the Year seriously. We were impressed with her work that Ms. Traub has taken to teach hard history and difficult truths in a meaningful way with her students. In addition to the award from Gilder Lehrman, the Rhode Island Historical Society is happy to present Ms. Traub with a year's free membership to the society. This membership allows her free admittance to our museums, and we are open with time tickets so you can come. Free reciprocal membership to over 250 other museums and historic sites. Free admission to our summer concerts, discounts on special events and our museum stores, and a subscription to the Rhode Island History Journal. So congratulations, and we hope you enjoy your membership.
Thank you.
Fantastic. Thank you, Geralyn. All right, so the time has come to officially present you with your certificate. But as some folks have mentioned, you have lots of citations coming your way. So many people all across the state were so excited to hear about this award. So I will also show you the governor's office sent along a digital version of your certificate. So this is en route to you as we speak. And then finally, here is your official certificate from the Gilder Lehrman Institute as naming you the 2020 Rhode Island History Teacher of the Year. Congratulations again, Claudia. Now I would love to give you the floor to share anything you wanted to say.
My daughter told me I was muted. I was told to make some remarks, so I wrote some, and I guess I'll read them, but quite honestly, after hearing what everybody said, my remarks are, let me read what I wrote, but I really don't have the words to say how grateful I am, and most of the people who spoke about me know how much I cry. And so if I'm really touched, and I kind of can't say more than that because, yeah. So thank you for everyone who hopped on and for everyone who spoke, and every single person who spoke. It really, I do what I do because of the things they said to me or showed me or taught me. And well, let me read and then, yeah. So all of the people who have spoken, and I'm going to read from my notes today, understand agency, and they understand historical significance, and they understand the empirical need to see every student holistically and is a human being who has great potential. It is their mentoring, advice, warmth, criticism, challenge, and support that has helped me continue to believe that we will, as Angela Davis says, continue to talk about liberating minds as well as liberating society. I look forward to continuing this work so that young people continue to think for themselves, understand they have full agency, connect and care about the material they are studying, and can use the information they are discovering to advocate for themselves, their communities, and the world. I will do this through the lens of decolonized curriculum, a curriculum that looks to center the students, their identity, culture, voice, community, and family. I will do this in partnership with teachers, community advocates, family members, young people, and anyone else who wants to ensure that all students receive the gift of education, an education that remains anti-racist, anti-classist, anti-ableist, anti-gender conformist, an education that empowers youth and change from the ground up. And I look forward now to continuing and beginning this very new work with Kiara Butler and Diversity Talks. And I'll just say here that when you said, what would I be doing now? I actually get to, led by young people in my new position, completely led by young people, to write the curriculum that will connect to everything that's going on now. Lastly, thank you to all of the indomitable students I have met along the way. You give me hope. You give me strength. And you are most definitely the future that we are hoping for. And as I continue to see the world through my daughter's eyes, she just put her head down, through my daughter's eyes, thank you, Talia, for always reminding me about what is most important, to be seen, to be heard, and to be valued. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Claudia. Yes, round of applause. Wonderful. Well, I will echo Claudia's thanks and just say thank you all so much for being here this evening. It was so great to have you with us to celebrate all of Claudia's accomplishments. And Claudia, we are so proud that you are 2020 Rhode Island History Teacher of the Year. So thanks for all that you do. All right. Thank you so much, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Congratulations, Claudia.
Congratulations.
Let's go dance. Okay, bye.
We love you. Thank you.
Love
for
you.
doing
Thank
this.
you.
Congrats, Claude.
Thank you. Oh my God. My